These loops incorporate not only the stereo version, but also the multi-track version, which means when you're mixing, you have the ability to effect each element of the drum kit in whatever way that you like.
Ron Wikso asked me if I would show you how I use his Total Control Audio multi-track drum loops. I'm going to go into Studio One to do this. We're going to create a new song, an empty project. We will browse to the drum loops. You'll see on my desktop I have a special free offer that Ron has of his bonus multi-tracks that we'll take a look at in a few minutes. First, I'd just like to show you the way Ron has organized his drum loop collection. You can see they're very nicely organized by tempo, and then inside of each folder you'll see they're organized for songwriters with intro, verses, chorus, bridges, endings, and fills, set up with a songwriter in mind. So today we're going to take a look at the multi-track drum loops, because multi-track drum loops can seem a little bit daunting, or they can seem extremely flexible. Ron's multi-track drum loops are organized just as they would be in the studio. You can see with kick, snares, hi-hats, toms, and overhead and room mics. So we're going to take the intro for this song that's at 61 beats per minute, and we're just going to drag and drop those all together into a new project. Make sure I set the tempo to slower. I'm just going to set it to what these were recorded at, and you'll see that these all drop in really nicely. Let's play the intro. So now we can hear that it's just the raw multi-track of Ron's drums, just as if Ron was out there in the studio playing. This is exactly what we would hear. So let's call up the mixer, and we can start to make adjustments right away. So the first thing I would do is I would take my overheads, and I'd get my overheads adjusted left and right. Get the room. I'd probably actually turn the rooms off. I'd use those, and I think I'd pan the toms also right away. Get that going. I'd probably there's two different kicks here, and now I would probably turn off the exterior kick to start with, and I'd probably start with just one snare, and I'd get this probably get the hi-hat this turned on here a little bit. Oh, I'd also pan the hi-hat a little bit over here, right? Okay, there's just raw drums happening here, just as if we're in the studio with Ron. We need to just clean up the names of each one of the tracks. You'll see that this is very quick to do, and you can see that my labels down here are getting cleaned up. So let me just complete doing this. All right, after just a real quick cleanup of the track labels, we can now see that it is exactly like you would label when you're in the recording studio. The beautiful thing about this, watch how these drop in perfectly, right in order, without anything having to happen with relabeling our track names. Our tracks are all set up. We just grab and drop the next section, and we can start building out our song. And as we can hear, let me just hit play. These will just go seamlessly from the intro now into the verse with all of our settings on our mixer not needing any more adjustment. When we're setting up our mixer, we'd like to have faders be grouped together. I'm just going to group left and right. Group. Do this. It's nicely grouped together. Let's take a look at how easy it is to cut and paste multi-track loops. Split up the cursor. We just have one bar. And let's just paste that. Let's paste it here. Not that this is the most beautiful way to set up a drum section here, but let's go ahead and display it here. So we've taken one bar of Ron's multi-track drum loops, repeated that 4 times, and you can hear just how completely seamless it all fits together. Intro, verse, chorus, bridge. You can even take multi-tracks from the different collections and bring them together seamlessly. Check this out. Now this is pretty crazy because this is recorded at 120 beats per minute. This is actually at 61, but let's just hear how this sounds. So we're actually able to do that. Seamlessly dropping in multi-track from a completely different loop set. Absolutely amazing. We've now switched over to Logic Pro. So we're just going to browse to our folder, which is on our desktop. And we'll go to the bonus multi-tracks that Ron has. And let's go to the little bit faster upbeat collection, which is 120 beats per minute. And let's just go into the multi-tracks here, and let's grab the intro piece that Ron's made available here. So we just drop that here. I have selected all of them. We're going to create new tracks, and we will import those. So there we go, and we have that now nicely here. Let's see if it worked. There we are. Let's loop these. So now it's going. All of the mixer. A little hot, so let's move on the output a little bit here. Okay, so we would do we can do the exact same thing that we did in the previous example. Let's get these guys panned. All right, just as if we're in the studio, getting everything set up here. Get our hi-hat over here. All right, let's solo this kick here and hear it. All right, we got the kick. You know what we can do? This is amazing. So because we're in Logic Pro X, we could go to this track and we could replace or double this track. Those of you that are familiar with Logic or other plugins like maybe Drumagog, you know that we can do things that are pretty crazy, that are pretty, maybe not crazy, but beautiful. So there we are, we're replacing drums, Ron's kick, you know, with a different kick. We could go even actually just replace it with like electric kick or something. Now let's take a look at a new project where I've dropped in the multi-track drums. I've added in bass guitar, some piano, some acoustic guitars, and a little electric guitar from a project that I was working on. And let's just hear how this fits all together using the Total Control Audio multi-track drum loops.
Put a ton of reverb on the snare and not on the bass drum, or you can compress it, or you can EQ it, however you like. Whatever you think sounds best for your song, you have the ultimate control, hence the name Total Control. Hit the like button if you like us. We love those likes.